Credit card companies may now have cause for concern over the PayPals of the online world. Bourgeois, he's senior analyst at Sanford Bernstein, looked into this competitive threat. We brought him on because he's also Institutional Investor's #1 ranked analyst for IT services 4 consecutive years here. Nice work. Thanks. And among the companies he covers are those traditional credit card companies, the Visas and the MasterCard that you're issuing a warning to today. Tell me about this call. Is this about a shift in how consumers are purchasing because of the growth of mobile, or is this something more economic here as consumers start to use credit, perhaps not relying as much on cash, with less of it in pocket?
Yeah, it's particularly a shift in the online payments market, or the internet-based payments market. Today, Visa and MasterCard have a highly lucrative business model as they dominate debit and credit card transactions at the physical point of sale. But what we've looked into here are anything in the long run that could alter the business models or the competitive set of Visa and MasterCard. And one of the things we've looked into is the emergence of these internet-based payment providers, led by PayPal. They're clearly gaining momentum in the online payments market and attracting both consumers and merchants to adopt these alternative payment systems.
How are they doing it? I mean, is it cheaper as a merchant for me to rely more on these alternative payment plans instead of taking on Visa and MasterCard and paying the fees to accept them?
Yeah, well, from a merchant's point of view, it's not that PayPal is cheaper. What it is that PayPal has attracted particularly small online merchants that otherwise didn't have a way to get paid online. And these smaller merchants were being essentially overlooked by the traditional payment systems. So that created an opportunity for PayPal to attract merchants. And then it's also creating very strong pull at the consumer level. Consumers take comfort in the fact that when they use PayPal, PayPal does not provide the consumer's detailed payment information to the actual seller or the merchant online. So there's a security advantage, at least a perceived security advantage on the part of the consumer. So they've created very strong momentum with both merchants and consumers, and that's what Visa and MasterCard really need to pay attention to.
No, they're not completely divorced here. I mean, in your report, you point out that a significant portion, half of e-commerce transactions, are facilitated by alternative payment providers, but still flow through the Visas and the MasterCards. So how much crossover is there?
That's correct. So as an example, with PayPal, when you use your PayPal account online, you can choose to fund that account through a credit card or through your checking account. About half of the transactions actually are flowing through Visa and MasterCard's card network because the consumer chooses to fund the PayPal account with credit cards today. So while in the long run there's a threat of Visa and MasterCard losing share, I think that threat in the near term is mitigated because half of PayPal's volume is actually benefiting Visa and MasterCard today.
But you still have outperform ratings on Visa and MasterCard, so it's not enough of a threat to make you change your call on the stocks.
Yeah, that's correct. And I would cite a couple of things. In the near term, again, the threat is mitigated because half of that volume is flowing through the card networks of Visa and MasterCard. But also, when you look at retail sales, which is the target market of payment providers, only 3.7% of retail sales flows over the internet. Right? So the bulk of Visa and MasterCard's market is still alive and well and thriving. The other thing I would say is in the next year, we strongly expect Visa and MasterCard to beat consensus estimates, partly because card volumes are rising as the economy improves, but also because there's a very strong secular shift from paper-based payments, that is cash and check, towards electronic payments, particularly debit cards, where Visa has a dominant franchise.
Now tell me why you think PayPal has a competitive advantage within the alternative payment sphere, because you know, Google has that consumer pull strategy where you automatically get that pop-up to see how much you'd save if you use them versus the PayPal.
Yeah. So when you attract a merchant, the merchant wants a payment device that's actually going to increase their sales.
Right.
We're not seeing a lot of momentum with Google's payment system right now because merchants today are not seeing a difference in using Google's payment system to drive added sales, whereas with PayPal, because of the momentum, they're actually seeing a benefit from added sales as they use PayPal. And I think it's because of that security advantage that PayPal has developed the reputation for providing to the consumer side. And also, PayPal initially started by helping facilitate payments through the eBay system, right? And now it's extended sort of outside of eBay and has very good momentum in attracting non-eBay merchants, both small and large.
As a brand, that is what they're most associated with.
That's correct.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on and tell us. We're going to continue to watch this as we also see the consumers really shift more towards mobile and internet purchasing. See if it'll go above that 4% level you cited. Thanks so much.